Everything you are right now, your confidence, your income, your relationships, your peace of mind, is the echo of one invisible architect. Your beliefs, not your background, not your degree, not even your talent, but what you believe about yourself, about people, about life itself. You see, belief is a lens through which you interpret everything. Two people can look at the same storm. One sees destruction, another sees an opportunity to build stronger walls. Same storm, different belief, different destiny. Let that sink in for a moment. The real battle of life is not fought outside you. It's fought in the arena of your mind, and the weapon is your belief system. If your belief is small, your world will shrink. If your belief expands, your world will open up. This is not motivational fluff. It's a practical law that the great observers of the human heart have tried to teach in different languages and forms. As one wise thinker put it, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength that is not a line to admire and forget. It is an invitation to stewardship. Let's be honest. Your beliefs are not passive thoughts floating like clouds. They are blueprints. They quietly build a structure of your life, brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision. Your beliefs decide how high you'll dream, how long you'll persist, and how much love you think you deserve. They are the silent script that plays while you believe you are improvising. If you believe you're unlucky, your mind will filter reality to find proof of your bad luck. You'll overlook every blessing and magnify every problem until life becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you believe life favors the brave, you'll see opportunities in strange places. Doors that were invisible to others suddenly appear before you. Change your thoughts and you change your world, not as a slogan, but as a technology of the mind. Belief does not simply observe reality. It participates in creating it. Here's a practical piece people forget. The brain does not care whether the image it holds is from memory or imagination. Repeat a conviction long enough, and your nervous system will begin to act on it. When you imagine success with detail and feeling, your body prepares as if success were real. Posture shifts, voice steadies, decisions align. This is neuroplasticity in motion, the brain remodeling itself around what you honor. Far from being mystical, it is mechanical. The habit of thought sculpts the neural pathways that sculpt your life. Most of us carry inherited blueprints, beliefs borrowed from the household, the neighborhood, the school, the culture. These borrowed beliefs can become a prison if we accept them without scrutiny. You were born an original, don't die a copy, a modern encourager urge, and the point is blunt. Too many people live reduced versions of themselves because they never challenge the script they inherited. The challenge, then, is authorship. To read the lines written about you, to question them, and to write new lines where necessary. Beliefs are stories. The mind loves narrative. It prefers a comfortable lie to a disruptive truth. I'm not good enough. I fail at relationships. People like me don't become rich. These are sentences that have been repeated like a drumbeat until they sound inevitable. But every story can be edited. The writer James Allen wrote about how a man becomes what he thinks about. Thought is the seed, action is a harvest. Plant a new thought often enough, water with practice, and a new life emerges. Rewrite the script and watch the scenes of your life change. Beliefs shape behavior. Behavior forms habits. Habits build character. Character determines destiny. This chain is simple but profound. Destiny is not a mysterious force that chooses some and ignores others. Destiny grows out of the daily commitments you live by, the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make when no one looks. Those choices are not random. They're the outward evidence of your inward convictions. If you believe you are capable, you will take the risk. If you believe you are fragile, you will recoil at every door. The giants of history were not superhumans. They were people who kept faith with a vision longer than their doubts outshouted them. There is also a social dimension to belief. Collective beliefs become culture. A society that believes education is a ticket out of poverty will build schools, value teachers, uplift students. A society that believes corruption is inevitable will normalize shortcuts and silence conscience. Your personal beliefs are not isolated. They are in conversation with the beliefs around you. That means changing who you spend time with, what media you consume, and which rituals you practice can accelerate or arrest your growth. Environment is not destiny, but it is the soil in which destiny grows. Tend the soil. Beliefs can be poisonous. Traumatic pain, repeated humiliation, and long seasons of failure can calcify into beliefs that harden like stone. I am damaged. I am unlovable. I will never recover. Healing those beliefs is not merely positive thinking. It is a form of inner surgery. It requires compassion, evidence, and the slow work of small successes. Begin with accountability. Small wins matter more than speeches. Every small step rewires the nervous system story about what is possible. Consistency, not intensity, is a hand that carves a new path. There is also the practice of deliberate imagination, envisioning a future with sensory detail until it becomes familiar. The act of imagining is not escape. It is a rehearsal. You don't rehearse for what you accept as impossible. The great practical teachers of the last century have taught that forming a clear, emotional picture of your desired future and holding it tenaciously is one of the most effective ways to reconfigure belief. That is why rituals, morning pages, visualization, gratitude lists are not trivial. They are the daily signals sent to your brain saying, "This is real. Prepare for it." Gratitude deserves its own corner. A mind that trains itself to notice what is working rewires toward abundance. Gratitude isn't a denial of struggle, but an alignment to possibility. When you start each day naming 3 things that are true and good, you prime your attention for evidence that supports growth. Over time, gratitude becomes a lens that filters out despair and allows creativity through. Responsibility is another lever. Taking responsibility for your inner state shifts the narrative from victim to author. This does not mean blaming yourself for things beyond your control. It means reclaiming the only domain you can reliably govern, your response. Stoic teachers taught that while we cannot command the wind, we can set the sail. That distinction is liberating and empowering. Once you treat your inner life as the place of real sovereignty, you stop outsourcing your future to circumstance and begin to construct it deliberately. There's also an ethic in belief. Humility plus courage. You must be humble enough to see that some of your beliefs are wrong, and courageous enough to dismantle and replace them. Pride would defend a false belief long after its usefulness has expired. Courage will test a belief in the laboratory of action. Take experiments. Try things that scare you. See them not as make or break verdicts, but as data points. When failure comes, treat it as feedback, not identity. That is the difference between a fixed and a growth orientation. Service recalibrates belief. When you start to align your life with contribution, your sense of self expands beyond the narrow boundaries of personal gain. Serving others makes you test tougher beliefs about scarcity, recognition, and worth. Many leaders report that the shift from taking to giving reprograms their hearts. Fear eases, creativity flows, and the world responds in ways that confirm a new belief that life amplifies generosity. There are also practical tools, journaling to capture the limiting story, asking, when did I first learn to believe this? To trace the origin, evidence gathering to disprove negative assumptions, building a ritual of public commitments to lever accountability. Surround yourself with models, not compare, but to map what's possible. Read deeply the stories of ordinary people who did extraordinary things, and notice the common thread. They changed what they believed about the possible and then behaved accordingly. Remember the role of language. The words you speak about yourself are the scaffolding of future experience. Saying, "I'll try," keeps the door open to failure. Saying, "I'll do it," changes the inner contract. The tongue announces to the mind what is sanctioned as true. The sages taught that life and death are in the power of speech because speech flows from belief. Speak carefully, for your sentences are small spells. Do not underestimate time. Real change is rarely dramatic. It is accumulative. Habits compound like interest. A belief nurtured with daily practice becomes a force that, over months and years, makes otherwise impossible things ordinary. Therefore, honor the slow progress. Reward consistency more than intensity. Respect the process, and the process will respect you. There's also a balance between vision and humility. Dream so big it scares you, but start so small you can't fail. Set stretch goals and micro habits that move you toward them. Structure your day so your environment sends signals that reinforce new beliefs. A clean workspace for clarity, a book beside your bed to remind you of learning, a calendar that marks deadlines you respect. In the end, the posture that most reliably changes destiny is one of relentless learning. If you treat life as a classroom and remain curious, your beliefs will naturally evolve. If you treat life as a courtroom where your past is judged forever, you stagnate. Curiosity is the antidote to fixedness. It invites new data, new models, and new possibility. You were not designed to be a victim of your thoughts. You were designed to be the architect of your destiny. So start with a single manageable commitment. Choose one belief that limits you and take one action today that contradicts it. Act small and often. Let your actions speak to your brain in the language it understands. Proof. Build around you a culture that reflects who you are becoming. Talk to people who believe differently and better. Read books that expand the map. Practice gratitude to open the channels of perception. Serve to enlarge your identity. Speak to yourself with words of authorship. Experiment with courage. Keep a ledger of small wins and refer to it when doubt knocks. When the storms come, and they will, remember this: storms reveal what is inside the foundation. If your inner blueprint was drawn from courage, the winds will test the structure and you will stand firmer. If your blueprint was drawn from fear, the same winds will indeed batter you. You can redraw the blueprint. It takes time, patience, and relentless iteration, but the tools are available: attention, language, ritual, action, and the company you keep. So from today, begin to build again, believe again, speak again, dream again, because when your beliefs change, your world cannot stay the same. If you are ready to reprogram your mind for success, this journey is not romantic. It is work, beautiful and exacting. Commit to it, walk it, and watch how the invisible architect within you begins to build a life worthy of your deepest calling.